As one of the most iconic families in the world, period. It's just more than an honor and pleasure, I have to say again. But how does it feel to know that you and your family have had so much impact on the world?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the people all over the world that supported the brothers and myself and Janet and the family. Thanks for your love and support. You know, we've always said that it's the fans that make the artists. You know, we go to work with things, but it's actually the fans who love it and buy it and encourage us to continue to do that.
Yes.
So it's a great feeling, and I'm still enjoying show business after all these years.
I'm sure that you guys have so many memories, but do you have anyone that stands out in particular, especially when you guys were younger?
Well, there's a few. Yeah. I remember the very first time we went to the UK and we had something like 10,000 screaming fans to greet us at the airport. And I got lost in the airport and 1,000 fans chasing me, pulling everywhere. And
Oh my gosh.
it was crazy. It was crazy. That's one of them. I have quite a few. Of course, being inducted into the Hall of Fame is
Oh
another
my
one.
gosh, yes.
We were inducted along with the Bee Gees and things like that.
Yes, and we're going to talk more about that too. But now let's talk about the international tour you're still on with your brothers. That's going on right now. So how do you enjoy still performing?
Well, like I said, it's the fans. They want to hear that music and they're so excited. And they bring that whole energy level up. Even if you're not feeling too well of entertaining today, once you hit that stage and you hear that crowd roar and the fans just bring it all back to life.
Oof. Well, speaking of impact, let's talk about your little brother Michael for just a moment. We all miss him terribly, but who was he to you? Just Michael? Because sometimes people ask me that about Tony Braxton, so I get it.
Yeah.
So how was it to you as just my little brother Michael?
He was my little brother Michael, and that's the way we see him, and that's the way we've always seen him, and that's the way we will always probably see him. Of course, he had tremendous talent, and we recognize that, but first of all, he's our brother.
Yes,
It's time to hang it up, give it up.
I agree. I agree. Family before fame. I'm all the way there.
Yeah.
But before we get into your new single, let's talk about Charles Barkley. And you've addressed him already, but he said, if you weren't in the Jackson 5, would you really miss him? Talk to us about how you felt about that statement.
Well, it hurt. Like I said, I've always been a very big fan of Charles Barkley. He's one of my favorite NBA players from back in the old school days, ever since he was playing with the Suns, Phoenix Suns. And to hear him say that, it hurt my feelings. And people are saying, like, Mr. Barkley, will we miss him and all these other things? I have to do my thing.
Yes.
You know, I had decided not to do it at one point in my life. But it was, of course, the fans. And after I heard that statement, I said, I got to do it now. Because Charles Barkley's a well-known ball player, and he's saying things like that. So I have to prove him wrong or whatever.
Well, I'm glad he said it because it led to your new single, and that we probably wouldn't have had he not said that.
Yeah,
it's a one-way street.
You probably wouldn't have had Tito Time now.
Yeah, I have Tito Time is a little different. So how does it feel for you to now be in the forefront?
It feels good. You know, it's something. I was always the shy member in the band. You know, I was very quiet, and my brothers talk a lot. And when you got 5 of us sitting in the surrounding an interviewer, and he's asking a question, and 5 of them jump in, and I'll just say, I'm going to be quiet. Just let them handle it.
What? Well, it is difficult sometimes when you come from a large family to kind of get your voice and feel where you belong. You know, trust me, I know. I'm 5 of 6. So I got to be loud, try to get my voice. But anyway, so with your new single, you're working with a young producer. His name is Greg Pagani. I'm going to get it right. Greg Pagani.
Yes.
So how did you guys just merge your music together to find that?
Remix this record for me. Do you have any suggestions? And of course, Greg Pagani had just came off a #1 record with Johnny Gill, Soul of a Woman. And I listened to the record and I said, hey, this is in the same groove, same vein. You know, why not give him a shot at it?
Wow. Ooh, I was sweating under my arms. I was nervous. I never get nervous like that, but I was so nervous. And the single is really good. It's called One Way Street, and you guys make sure you look out for it. One Way Street from Tito Jackson. Braxton. We are back with Sister Circle Live. Of course, I had a talk with Tito Jackson about the Motown days, and he was happy to go down memory lane with me. Here's more of my interview with the legendary Tito Jackson, who was just so much fun to talk to. Take a look. Okay, last month, Showtime, they premiered a documentary, Hitsville, the making of Motown, and it followed the lives of many Motown artists, of course, including the Jacksons. You can't have Motown and not include the Jacksons. What goes through your head when you see your younger self being personified on screen, performing?
Well, Motown was a dream for the brothers because when we were growing up, learning our craft, everything was Motown. We loved Temptations, Four Tops, Stevie, and when first of all, let me back up. We were performing at the Apollo Theater, and we had a choice to either go on the Dick Cavett show or go audition for Berry Gordy. Out of that, he didn't want no more kids because he had Stevie Wonder, and that was a handful. Working with social workers and the state and all that. What he's gonna do with 5 of us?
Yes.
So anyway, we auditioned, and he didn't show any expression whatsoever. He just sat there and watched everything. When the last number played, he came over to us and he goes, "I'm gonna make your first 4 records." He said, "First 4 records, number 1."
Wow.
And we thought, how's that gonna happen? You know, he did it.
Yes,
you know?
and then some.
But the thing, the most frightening thing of that whole time period is that after our audition, the very next day he was having a surprise party for Diana Ross, and he had asked us to come to the party to perform. And at the party was Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Temptations, all the Motown staff, artists. And we're up there singing their songs to them, and they're judging us on their songs.
Right.
So that was very nervous for me.
As children,
Yeah,
on top of it. I'm telling you, you guys' life is so synonymous with ours. Because when we watch American Dream, we're like, y'all had Joe Jackson, we had Evelyn Braxton. So, yes.
Somebody got to do it.
You know what I mean? But your family, they call you Papa T. Yes. Talk to us about, even after your dad, what life lessons do you incorporate in your life with your children and your grandchildren now?
When I was a young man, you know, I thought my father was a hard man. But now that I'm older and I'm fighting what's wrong and all those type of things, he was wrong. He was on it.
Yeah.
And I picked up some of those things. You know, I have 3 sons. Have a little group called 3T.
Yes.
And they're good boys, you know, and that's all I can ask for. That's all I wanted them to be, is very respectful to the world and do what they would want to do in life. So.
Well, you can't go wrong when it's all T's, because my sisters and I, we're all T's. So
all right. We got the T thing going here. This is TNT here, you guys.
Okay, now, as a Jackson, you're a Jackson. Walk of Fame, Hall of Fame, there's just countless #1 records. But what is the coolest thing? The coolest thing in the whole entire world about being a Jackson?
The coolest thing about being a Jackson, it's hard sometimes. It's not always cool. But the coolest thing about being a Jackson, I guess, would be being able to perform for the people and having them to love your music and your craft.
Yes. What about the people, like, say when you go to Japan or when you go to Sweden, and people that can't necessarily speak English but can recite your words back to you? How do you feel about that?
That's very pleasing because, like you said, these people don't speak a lick of English, but they can say every word on your record perfectly.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you what, I don't want you to go. I want you to stay with us forever, but you guys, we gotta go. It was great having this time with you. Tito Jackson, that's all I have to say.
Nice to meet you, Trina.
It was a pleasure.
Very nice meeting you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Trina.
Wait a minute. Who put me on the program?
I said, nice to meet you, Trina.
He was
very nice to meet you.
Oh my God. So nice.
It was very Billy D.
How was the interview, Trina?
Because it's a living legend, you know, and I'm sitting there talking to Tito. You know what I mean? It's just, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I'm still sweating right now. Like Superstar, you know what she was like? It was like that.
Yeah.